Finally arrived at Luxeuil. Couldn't ask for better quarters. Apparently this place was a spa for King Louis XV. All around us, fruit trees blossom on grassy slopes covered by blue and yellow flowers. In the distance, I can see the snow-capped Vosges mountains, their flanks bristling with a solid mass of giant pines. It's 5 a.m. and I'm scared as hell. In less than an hour, I'll be flying my first patrol to the front. Just imagining what it'll be like kept me up all night. Now I wish I'd got some sleep. My partner and I took off into a ghostly sunrise. The gnawing in my gut told me we'd soon find the Hun. Sure enough, after a nagging lull, we found a pair of worthy opponents below us. They were close enough to touch. Woke this morning before dawn and gulped down a lukewarm cup of chicory masquerading as coffee. I'm flying wingtip on the mid-morning patrol to Verdun, so I'll have to eat breakfast later. Don't want to go up on a full stomach. One of the first things we learnt at flight school is that gas expands at high altitudes. Don't want to make the war messier than it has to be. The clouds opened up and left us staring into the gun sights of the enemy. One of him and two of us. The odds couldn't have been better. Curse the Fokker scourge. These Huns really know what they're doing with their synchronized machine guns. I'm glad we have our Vickers, but we need to start shooting more accurately, or our trigger fingers will soon be little more than mincemeat. Speaking of mincemeat, today should be a good chance to grind up some Eindeckers. Our venerable CO, Colonel Farah, is sending me on patrol with 2 other pilots. Squaring off for an equal matchup, I took my place as leader of our formation. The boys were depending on me as I steadied my hand to bank left and initiate our peel-off. Colonel Farah isn't too happy with us. He says, an unfair fight isn't a fight worth fighting. Far as he's concerned, our job is to blow the enemy from the sky, but only if we do it like gentlemen. Today I'm scheduled for my first strafing run. Fighting at Verdun is at deadlock, and we need to open the lines. With any luck, Fritz won't be expecting us and will push him back where he belongs. Huns on parade. As we approached the front, we counted hundreds of enemy soldiers surging forth to gain new ground. We guessed right. They hadn't expected us. It's wickedly cold this morning, and the ragged wool blanket I've draped around my shoulders isn't doing much to keep me warm. Sleep is as rare a commodity around here as firewood. Yet even in the coldest hours before dawn, we can't stop worrying about the Fokker scourge. Soon as the sun rises, Farah is sending 3 of us up to take a look around. I haven't written anything yet about our top-notch support team. Right now, they're out clearing the ice from our landing area. The man in charge is Sergeant Mackay. He's a hoot. Yesterday he made a snowman and put a Bosch officer's cap on it. Gave us all a few chuckles at target practice. Looking around, and it suddenly got complicated. There were 3 Fokkers below us, and they wanted a fight. We'd see that they got one. Not looking forward to this morning's patrol. We're headed southeast of Verdun to the German aerodrome at Metz. Farah wants to let the Germans know they don't have free rein to cross our lines. Meanwhile, he's making it clear we'll cross theirs at any time we please. Nothing Farah likes more than a friendly double standard. High over Metz, my partner and I confronted an Eindecker cruising alone. We were willing to let him go, but he boldly signaled that he wanted to engage. Farah spent yesterday prepping us for this morning's balloon busting over Verdun. He says it's easy to light up a balloon. All you got to do is hit it. Now I know why Mackay thinks Farah has a simple view of things. Guess I couldn't figure out for myself that if you hit something filled with hydrogen, it'll erupt in flames. After an hour in the air, we spotted a high-flying observation balloon keeping tabs on our troops. My partner and I couldn't have cared less about the surrounding anti-aircraft fire. Mackay told us last night that he has plans to open an automobile repair shop back in Vermont after the war is over. It's nice to know that someone is thinking about this war being over. After breakfast, we're off to strafe a road at Metz. Farah's plan is to cut off the supply route for fuel delivery to the Metz aerodrome. Maybe that'll keep their planes off our backs for a while. Metz couldn't have been more cooperative. Just as Farah promised, I found an exposed line of supply trucks en route to deliver petrol. What a shame the aerodrome would have to go thirsty. The first days of the new month come with sorrow. Last night the Germans bombed our aerodrome. Damage was light, but in the middle of it all, Sergeant Mackay ran out in his bathrobe and started shooting at the bombers with his rifle. He landed a few hits, but so did they. Mackay will be buried back home with full honours. Farah is sending 2 of us to strike back with a balloon-busting run to Strasbourg. The enemy needs to be taught a lesson. Under heavier anti-aircraft fire than we anticipated, we found an inviting balloon just asking to be blown from the sky. In memory of brave old Mackay, we were happy to oblige. Pleased to hear that 2 days ago a French Nieuport shot down a Zeppelin with a Le Prieur rocket. Wish we could get our hands on some of these air-to-air terrors, but Farah is not impressed with them. Rockets are a passing fancy, he says. They've got no range. Maybe he's right. Maybe we should forget about scientific experiments and just concentrate on strafing the Verdun front. Close on the heels of an enemy brigade, we dropped into position and spread out. Fritz got the message and took cover as we opened fire on his pointy-headed infantry. The fighting has become bitter. A German pilot we captured keeps telling us that the Central Powers are going to bleed France white. He thinks Verdun is a turning point in the war for his side. I think he's been drinking too much schnapps. Just got assigned to the evening patrol. 2 of us will be sneaking over to Strasbourg, where first-class Fokkers are in abundance. As we reached the skies over Strasbourg, we spotted 3 monoplanes on patrol above us. They had the advantage entering their dive, and we were forced to split to avoid the attack. Every day I learn new things about this war. This morning I found out that Farah has an informant on an enemy base. For a few shillings a week, he gets tips on what the Huns are planning. Last night, warning came on the wireless that a Gotha is coming at noon today to bomb our boys at Verdun. With only 1 accompanying fighter, the bomber should be no match for the 4 of us going up on the sly. Farah has been buying his tips wisely. At noon we found the Gotha and its escorts circling their Verdun prey. We said a quick hello Hun from a peel-off formation, prepared to send our visitors plummeting back to Earth. Our machine guns are about to get a whole lot better. A German plane with Anthony Fokker's new sync gear just fell into our hands. The pilot got lost in the fog and landed on our side of the line. Sure hate to be in that Hun's boots when he finally gets back to his CO. Strafing at Verdun this afternoon. It's a routine mission, if keeping your nose from getting blown off by enemy sharpshooters can be considered routine. We reached the front but found few enemy soldiers. Anticipating our run, they dug themselves in deep. We decided to chew up their clustered supply tents in hope of flushing out a few bodies. Casualties on the front are heavier than ever, and French and British air commands aren't faring much better. While we're all beginning to realise how much these battles cost, no one is backing down. I just want to stay alive to see how it all ends. Farah is widening our patrol zone to include Sarahberg. We're off to assure the Huns that reinforcing their lines won't be easy. With a heavy tailwind giving us added thrust, the three of us came upon a lurid pair of Fokkers. Within seconds we'd engaged, and with the speed of it all I was momentarily thrown off guard. The trains out of Sarreburg are becoming a damn nuisance. Their base station is a recruiting point for troops headed to Verdun, as well as a loading depot for munitions going to Metz. Metz is an important aerodrome for the Huns, so by strafing the Sarreburg line we can kill two birds with one stone. We'd like to bomb it, but HQ says bombs are in short supply. Guess they don't think we're worth it. A clear sky and an even clearer target looked to make this run a piece of cake. The train was running on time, but if we got its engine, it wouldn't be for long. Met my first Russian pilot today. You'd think the Tsar would have his hands full with the Eastern Front, but Russian troops recently landed at Marseille to offer their support. We toasted peace with our Slavic allies, who want this war to end as much as we do. Company favourite this afternoon, balloon busting over Strasbourg to keep the observers off the night watch. Won't be easy. We spotted two balloons, yet before we could open fire, my partner and I were under attack. We'd have to nail the two Fokkers if we wanted a shot at the fat boys. Just read that President Wilson warned Germany not to pursue its policy of unrestricted submarine warfare. It's been almost a year since the Lusitania, and nothing's been forgiven. If this war goes on for another year, there's no way the US can stay out of it. My patrol today will take the three of us to Nomini. We're sure to meet resistance from our honourable adversaries, the Luftstreitkraft. Approaching the Nomini aerodrome, we came upon three hungry Fokkers looking for an afternoon snack. The boys and I weren't about to be served up as sauerkraut. The line at Verdun is tightening. Observation balloons are cluttering the skies at Nomini and providing the enemy with too much information on our sister aerodromes at Nancy and Luneville. Luneville's fighters are tied up at the front, and Nancy is on alert. So this evening a couple of us are going over to Nomini for a little balloon busting party. Always willing to help our friends. The party began as we neared two balloons floating gently above the horizon. I just wish someone hadn't invited the two not-so-gentle Fokkers down there below them. One of the boys found out that Farah's birthday is coming up at the end of the month. Like to do something special for the top dog, but he's rather funny about these things. He doesn't seem the cake and ice cream type, so we'll have to think up something clever. Dawn balloon busting over Metz in an hour. Can't believe how cold it is for spring. I'm putting off showering until the sun is out. Basking in the first rays of sunlight, my partner and I spotted a single balloon lurking over the ransacked town. I couldn't see any attending fighters, but my sour morning stomach told me there was some out there somewhere. Metz is becoming a major concern. Its heavy E3 cover is making it clear the Huns think their side of the line is sacrosanct. 4 of us are going on patrol to show how much we respect that edict. Speaking of Farah, we're thinking of getting a nice girl to come down from Paris to sing him a French rendition of Happy Birthday in private. The rest will be up to him. Facing off against 3 enemy planes, my team got the signal from our leader to break formation and blast whatever appeared in front of us. I hope somebody was watching my tail when we split. I get the feeling our generals are increasingly concerned with the enemy's next move. Today they're sending up one of our balloons to take a look at the German stronghold near Colmar. We're being dispatched to provide protection for the balloon, and the brass will be none too happy if it goes down in flames. The Germans are almost as good at plucking these bulging targets from the sky as we are. Our relieved balloon operator saluted as 3 of us let him know we'd come to defend him. Good thing we were there. After soaring by our balloon, we caught a glimpse of 2 Fokker E3s. No luck yet finding a girl with a nice singing voice willing to come out here and perform for Farah. Too dangerous, they all whine. Which, I wonder, the war or Farah? Off to strafe a well-protected communications route outside Strasbourg. We're told the roadside is infested with machine gun nests. The road was infested, all right. We ran into a plague of shell-spitting pests. There was only one thing to do. Spit back.